you're telling us the story, like kind of reading us the story, and then having the experts come in. But I feel like it's still like a passion project of yours, and
Really is.
yeah. So what kind of things do you kind of look for to want to learn more about? Because these are only a few that we get to see now.
Right. Well, everything is mysterious. Um, Wherever you look, whatever you put your finger on, we don't know what it is. I mean, put your finger on a piece of wood here. What is it? It looks to be solid. It's got nice grain to it, but it holds all kinds of secrets as you delve into it. And we humans have been doing a lot of delving, but we don't know how far. When do you reach the bottom? When when does the thing you're examining stop being mysterious? And I think it never stops being mysterious because there's so much at work, so many mysterious things at work here on Earth, and the observable um, universe. Everything is unknown. We don't know anything, and and so you uncover something. So science uncovers something that seems really interesting, and you go to look at it and you realize it's only the surface of another curious question. So we spend our lives wondering what's around the corner. Like when you get to a point where you think about death, what is death going to be like? How do you
Yeah,
know you're how
I
do you know
heard
you're
you.
dying? How do you know you're dying?
Yeah, and I heard that you kind of planned like you wanted to become a tree after you die, and that's actually something that I've been thinking about myself, kind of becoming one
I
with
have.
nature.
I studied about it. I did a concert in Washington a while ago, and in fact, the concert is is going to be available on the air, and a song from that concert, "So Fragile, So Blue," we're hoping will be a music video and an album that's been picked up by London Symphony Orchestra. Um, so there's a lot of sort of interesting things that I'm a part of, companies that I've become a part of that are weird and working on strange science principles. And I find that everything about the things I touch create a mystery, and you follow it as far as you can, but I think you get lost in what is inexplicable, what can't be explained.
Yeah, and watching that the extraterrestrial episode about space and like the wow signal or whatever they call it, and all of those
Right.
things. Um, uh, I'm thinking while watching that you have actually spent a couple of minutes in space for real, not only on Star Trek for all of those years on pretend, but you actually went up there.
Yeah.
Uh, and I know a question that a lot of people probably ask is how it was looking back on Earth and stuff like that. But
Well,
I have a different question.
yes.
You may answer that as well. But I've always been thinking, watching movies and stuff. When you look back at Earth, you only see Earth, but when you're down at Earth and looking up, you see all those stars. If you're in a place where you can actually look up, because well, you're outside the city or something. But when you were up there, could you see all the stars much better from
No,
space?
I'd hoped that you could get a view of the Milky Way.
Like like the best view is kind of what
Yes,
I would imagine
where
you'd
you're
get.
staggered, but what I saw is total blackness. eerie, bad, blackness, evil, ugly, death, blackness, and back
That's
looking at
horrible.
oh, it's horrible. And
Yeah,
then because you realize it's space and it's whatever that temperature is, 400 degrees below, somewhere around there, 300 degrees. I mean, you're dead. And when you look back on this little tiny rock with the beige and blue, and that's life.
yeah.
And my feeling then was extreme sadness, which I didn't understand until I landed. And I realized I was in grief for the earth.
For what we're doing to it, you mean? I know
All
you.
the incredible number of of um, of life forms that
Yeah,
are now
krill
extinct,
for one.
that are now extinct because of what we did and are
Yeah,
doing and will
yeah.
do.
I know you've spoken about how krill is going extinct because that's under the ices that are melting, and we don't even know what that will do to the rest of the life in the oceans and stuff like that. Yeah. So when you guys decide on what kind of mysteries or unexplained events that you want to cover on this show on History Channel, uh, are you a part of deciding what problems that you maybe want to hear more
I
about
have
here?
I have on numerous occasions something that interested me. I'll call the production company up and say, "Have you thought about X, Y, and Z?" No, it's a good idea. Language, for example, the mystery of language. So, I mean, everything, as I said, is mysterious if you hook up your curiosity factor. Otherwise, you accept everything. Oh, look at this. I'm talking to you. You're in the Netherlands. I'm in, um,
Sweden, actually.
you were in
In
Sweden.
Sweden, yeah.
So you're in Sweden and I'm in America, and we both cannot get over our bewilderment and wonderment at the facility of being able to do that. 200 years ago, they were sailing a ship, you know,
For
uh,
months, yeah.
and trying to get across these waters. And here we are talking effortlessly and looking at each other.
Yeah. You've also had a career in acting that have spanned almost 80 years now, and I'm thinking about for the longest time now I weren't able to speak with any actors because of the strikes going on
Mhm.
in the US, and now fortunately those days have passed. But I'm thinking, how much have the business actually changed from when you started out 80 years ago, and now when you can look back on it, like how.
Well, technically, everything has changed, but the basics, and I've got an interesting uh, performance I'm going to be doing in April that I've had to write, and presumably, other than the means of carrying the words, the storyteller and the audience remains the same, and and I'm thinking that this thing I'm going to do, which is a the sun, the moon is going to get in the shadow of the sun, and there will be this darkness that's in a special area, in this case Bloomington, Indiana, as this darkness sweeps across the earth, as it does many times. Still, there are and were unique life forms looking at these uh, weird things that are happening, not having the knowledge yet to be bewildered by it, but story. And I'm going to tell them the story of what we're watching, and it's 100,000 people, but we're essentially gathered around a campfire, and the the storyteller is telling a story.
Yeah. Well, I wish I could be there, but it's a bit of a trial for me. But I'm sure it will be amazing to attend that.
I think it will be.
I know that. Yeah. Now I got
Let
it.
me, perhaps I can help you. Uh, 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 a show like The UnXplained taps into those very storytelling roots. If around a campfire, which I've done many times with kids, uh, and you can see their faces light up when you talk about mysterious things. They don't want to, some kids don't want to admit that they don't understand, they don't know, but every child skips along and looks at life anew. And if you can keep that childlike wonderment and bewilderment about life, that's what I think is the meaning of life.
Yeah. Yeah. And going on off on that, the storytelling thing, because I actually spoke with one of the actors, the actor on the new Star Trek, Strange New Worlds. Uh, he had been speaking with you, and you told him that you never felt like you got the actors the captain's log talks right, that you didn't feel like but for him that those were like what he was trying to like get near, and you told him that I never felt like I got those right. But here in on this new show as well, you are like the storyteller, and
Right.
we all like to listen to you. So
Well,
it was just
that's what I'm trying to do.
yeah,
From they'll hand me a script, and I don't want to read it first. The first time I'm uh, performing on it is in front of a microphone, and I'm reading it. Oh wow, no kidding! And I want to have that immediacy of I didn't know that because I didn't know that. So
yeah,
if I'm reading it and I don't have to rehearse it, it's there for the first time, hoping that you come along with me. Like, wow. So I'm not um, telling a story that I know about with a melodic tone and all. Excuse me. I'm I'm enjoying it like you are for the first time, and it just so happens I'm able to read it cold, and then I'll read it again. But generally, I like my first glimpse at the words.